everyone, it's me, Sammy here, and today we're going to be going over a new video series which I hope you guys really enjoy. This is going to be a series called Sammy Talks. Basically it's going to be about subjects in Roblox that are somewhat, they're a bit iffy, like what is the best Roblox FPS game, and for this example, after the flash, it's inevitable death, and it seems to be happening pretty soon. So, we're going to go to one of the first After the Flash games, and we're going to start from there. So, After the Flash really started up around 2016, and it's a great series. Just don't get me wrong. I love After the Flash. It's one of my favorite things on Roblox, at least. But sadly, many people. Well, what I've actually seen is that After the Flash is starting to deal with a big problem, which is hitting its player base and moderators and such. Now, what I've seen in After the Flash, we'll just get to the advisory board here. Perhaps its biggest game right now is After the Flash Mirage and Overcast 7.5. It's gonna be there's gonna be a new There's going to be a new game in After the Flash, which I think would be a very good thing. But there's one problem here. It's that After the Flash is dying. And from After the Flash, we're going to have to really start at the beginning. Now, After the Flash is basically a lore-based series, a roleplay series, on what if nuclear bombs dropped on America? A lot like Fallout, actually. It takes many aspects from Fallout, such as SEAL armor, which is basically power armor. You have the nuclear bomb setting. It's in the future. It's a wasteland. It's a lot of things that it takes from Fallout, like fuel rod. It's basically just Fallout on Roblox. It's what it is. It just has a different story arc, and I've seen many people get very defensive about that. I'm sorry, it's true. Now, I love After the Flash's story, and to really start off, we're gonna have to start at the beginning. Basically, I already said this. So you have one of the first two. You have Deep Six and Deep Winter. I haven't played Osaka, these are just on the front page. And let's just go to Chad's profile and see his games and such. If I can get to the creations. But basically, there's a lot of things that After the Flash. Yeah, rain that happened here. This is one of the other ones that started Osaka. So this is some of the first After the Flash games, and it's Chad. Really, all starts with him. He starts making a lot of these games. And not all of them are After the Flash. And he also made the Club Boats, which is a Roblox group. So basically, here's the thing. It really starts with the moderators, and I'm not trying to be bad and get trash the moderators or anything like that. But one of the things that I've seen of After the Flash, especially Mirage, is that they were very controlled. The first few games are very controlled and they're very good, and I didn't play them, but what I've heard from them is that they're very good, and I trust that opinion. And lately, After the Flash has been the storyline and just business-wise has been taking a lot of very strange ideas, changes. First thing that I want to say is probably pretty evident. 7.5. Now, there's nothing wrong with Overcast. It's a good game. It's how do I say this? It's an After the Flash Mirage, copy and paste. Now, Mirage is an old game, 2018. It's pretty old. It's not the oldest, but it still is pretty old. But the game was still alive, and it was doing very well. I've seen before Overcast came out, I've been like 1,000 people playing it. A large amount of the community was enjoying this. Just really good game, actually. But I'm gonna get into Mirage right here. I'm in. But there's a problem that's really evident, and I'll show you guys that. Now, if we walk over here, you already see the problem. We already see this. We see this. We see different things right here. Now, the people, everyone starts as a new role player when they play After the Flash. And they always start off, they're not good at the game, particularly. They don't know really what they're doing. But Mirage has had a very big problem with this, as in it's stock full of fail roleplays and misinformation, all of this stuff. It's there's a lot of this, and it's very deep and very dark, basically. Yeah, people saying you can get free guns. It's strange, obviously, but Mirage didn't always used to be like this. Now I know that, but when I joined, it was like this, and the problem's only gotten worse from there. And I think making a new game was not the right choice. In fact, I think it was the completely wrong choice. Here's one right now. Look at this. You got FFP right here. Now these are all new role players who decided to join. That's perfect. And the more people join your game, the more people basically you get money. But there's another thing I need to touch on, and it really starts up over here. And one of the only draws I really had to Mirage was what used to be the mother tree. It was truly basically the mutants in Mirage was one of the most fleshed out things, but it also had a bit of mystery behind it, which made it very enticing to see what would happen with all the mutants and such, and the mother tree and everything like that. And to see them get rid of this is just, it's disturbing, because to me this was one of the only things that kept me playing Mirage when I was doing it earlier. Now it's like my YouTube stuff. I really like playing Mirage, and I get most amount of my views from Mirage and After the Flash, not other games. Statistically, it's my game that I play the most, and I have the most views on. But I don't particularly enjoy Mirage and After the Flash that much anymore. And the second thing I need to touch on is the moderator community and such in Mirage. Now, I'm not going to blast any of the moderators here. I'm not going to go after any one person. But the moderators in Mirage and the people who work on it, they really have to stay in touch. This is the only thing that makes Mirage especially good, is the people. You can't have a video game series without people playing the video game series. It's not going to stay afloat. And what I've seen is that a lot of the moderators have been throwing out the people and not particularly caring. This is for me, okay? It may be different for your experiences, but it's for me, okay? And they haven't particularly been useful. They haven't particularly been helpful. Now, I understand the perms, permissions, all this lore, and personally, I think it could really should have been different from the start, actually, but I understand it, and I accept it, and I think it's fine that lore is information. It keeps you from getting overpowered items and basically being a complete and total menace to every single person in the server. But I think it's gone too far, and I really thought, like Mirage, at first, I thought, man, why is everyone so offensive about this? And I understand that, and I'm fine with that. But I'm now fine with it, actually. But to get to the point, I see that the moderators are not in touch with the community, and this is somewhat evident with Overcast. The fact, and Overcast would have been fine if it came out after Mirage died, basically. But Mirage is just not dead. It's not. It's still alive, and it's doing better than Overcast. And I get Overcast is supposed to be like a little taste of something of a new game that came out. But the thing that disturbed me the most was that Overcast came out during an event in Mirage. This was the Halloween event. And why this was so bad, to me personally, was that most video game creators, designers, Fallout for example, they still have the game being fleshed out, and they're having new titles and such. And usually, like Fallout 4 for example, is doing better than Fallout 76. And what I'm seeing is that after the Flash, builders, moderators are looking too much, personally, into really what would be the most beneficial, personally, like to them, I guess. Like, if you have a new game, that means more people are going to be playing both games. You can have different things for both games. So you can, like, the first thing that got me super angered, very angry actually, about Overcast was that you had to pay for everything again. You had to pay for the prop placer. You had to pay for everything over again. So, of course, they fixed that because of the huge community backlash. But it stayed like that for 2 months. And I understand. I'm fine that chat has brought it back and such. It's just, the game's not dead. After the Flash Mirage isn't dead. But if they keep on adding more, like, features, if they keep on adding more games that are mediocre, and they have all these mess ups, like, oh, your plot tracer isn't here, it looks like you're gonna have to pay for it another, like, 2,000 Robux for it again. Looks like you don't get your super props, sorry about that, but you can't really play this game, because you don't really have the super props anymore, because one, you don't really have your, thing, you don't have your cars anymore, you don't have your weapons, you don't have your level. And, that really broke it for me, when I heard about that. And when I played Overcast, it disgusted me, really. And like, I am beginning to not support their choices here. And I understand why they did this. I understand why they added Overcast. They kind of needed something fresh. But just all the mess-ups that they made with Overcast and all that, very, very mad. I was very, very angered. And I really think that if they made better choices with Mirage, Overcast, they played their cards right, then this video wouldn't be a thing. There wouldn't be. There would be more people engaged. It would just be a better game overall. But now, it just isn't. It really isn't. And that's, to me, a tragedy. I love this series, and it's personally one of my favorites. But I can't bring myself to play. I can't bring myself to play this game where, one, it's overrun with FRPs, and the moderation team is not doing anything about this. I mean, they are, and they're getting reported and such, but it's not as good as I think it would have been. Should have been, actually. But they just focused on what the community had. Just imagine how good Overcast, not Overcast, I mean Deep Six and Deep Winter, they focused on the community. And that's what I've heard. You had a lot of fan stuff, and it was very, very nice. Now it's just a lot about too much stuff for the fans is a bit too much stuff for the fans can actually ruin a franchise. If fans want a multiplayer, they can do it themselves, but if you had to make a whole new game, destroy a game's basically reputation, it's not as good. And I think this is where I'm going to leave it, because I just want people to think about this for a second. For this game to survive, to me, there's going to have to be a few things changed. One, I think the biomass should definitely come back, and that means you may have to disobey the fiction. This is just say the series. You may have to disobey this stuff that is going on in your future games like Deep Six, and it's going against your lore. But if you want the video game series to survive, I suggest you bring back the biomass. And this is because of the basically the thing that the biomass brought to the community was much more raw than like other factions in Mirage. Biomass, it was more wild. It was different. It was much more different than anything else I've ever seen in Mirage, or not Mirage, like in After the Flash. It's a very different experience that I've not had in almost any other RP game. Playing as a mutant in like a giant mutant horde, but you're not as dumb as a zombie. It's awesome, I think. And with Overcast, they just replaced it with Blight. And Blight is just a fungus which makes you weaker if you actually get it. And White has already been shown to be weaker than Rad-X, because people who have Blight can be infected by Rad-X and still become mutants. They just become stupid, weak mutants. But that's what I've heard. I really see that if they don't fix these problems, then Mirage, Overcast, whatever game they're coming out with, what they're bringing to I don't know how to visualize this. They gotta fix their community, and they gotta change out the moderators. You gotta add a different thing for the moderator. You have to change something, because if you don't, it's not gonna end well. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. I hope you really enjoyed this new series that I started off with. Yes, it may be controversial. Some of you guys may hate it. You guys may like this. I'm not sure. Before we go, I'm gonna have like a little suggestion. Yeah, just to the little moderator team. That's it. Small little suggestion. And this is it. Mirage is gonna end, and I see it. This is a lore ending. The only way I can really see Mirage ending is not if like a faction wins, not if any of that happens. I want to see something so brutal it can top what this game already had, like the Red Flu, the Rad C. It's something more brutal than that. And the thing that they didn't bring in was the Rad 9, and they never brought that in, and they may have just been hinting at it. But I think a great thing for Mirage would be some Rad 9 comes in with a giant mutant horde, basically wipes out the whole entire valley, and that leads up to After the Flash 8 with could be that Mirage. You could have like an alternate universe, basically, where the mutants come back and they completely annihilate stuff. Or you can say the old fiction is an alternate universe. It's a bit of a difference, but if you bring back the mutants, I would see a lot more interest in Mirage for its very nice role-playing stuff, and maybe role-playing ideas. Mutants are different than almost every other role-playing thing I've seen on Roblox and in other like actual games. So yeah, if you bring back the mutants, you haven't completely crushed the valley. You have like a giant battle, or the USCPF, or this is the mutants, or something like that. I love it, and that's one of the only endings that I can see where the whole community comes out. And again, this is opinion based, so you guys are able to share your opinion in the comment section below. I will not harass your opinion. I will not do anything about it. It's your opinion. This is my opinion, and I decided to make a video about it after a few months of thinking about it. So, guys, really hope you guys enjoyed this, and please like and subscribe for my channel, and if you let's try and go to 30 likes and to see if we want to make another video about this. So I hope you guys stay safe, and see you guys later.